Alright guys, welcome back to Deadline Media. Today, we're taking a look at my 2024 camera rig. I personally think the S1H is extremely worth it going into 2024 because of the features it offers. It's also a lot cheaper than it used to be. So if you guys are looking into an S1H, now is probably the time to buy. Pretty much for everything, I've been keeping the Sigma 24-70 on the camera at all times, but I'm kind of looking for something a little bit different when it comes to B-roll. I kind of want a little bit more of a cinematic look, and I want a little more control over my aperture, low light, stuff like that. I was browsing Facebook Marketplace at 2 a.m. last night. I happened to stumble across a set of 4 Rokinon lenses. So these are the DS series, I believe. This is the 24. They're in extremely good condition. I picked this setup on a very, very good deal, around $1,600 Canadian for the 4. Which is pretty mind-blowing if you think about it, because most Cine lenses nowadays, even budget, can range anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 a piece. And this is $400 a piece. Personally, I think that's a great deal. I just want to build my rig up and see how everything fits with the new lenses. And I kind of want to do a little update because things have changed since I did the last S1H rig. I'm going to put on the 35 because it is the longest out of all of the Rokinon lenses. That's gonna require an adapter because this is an EF lens. So right here, I have the Sigma MC21L to EF adapter. That probably did not focus, but so we're gonna take the 24-70 off. So we're gonna throw that 35 on real quick. All right, there it is. That is the 35. On the S1H. Honestly, you could keep it like this if you were trying to keep compact, which you most definitely can. But for the work I do, I like a little bit more weight on my camera because I do shoot handheld quite a bit. And if you haven't noticed, because I haven't shown it to the camera, I do have the RS3 dovetail Arca Swiss plate on here, and I'll show you why. For every good camera rig, there's a base plate, as you can see. I have an Arca Swiss quick release plate here, so I can transfer the camera to the gimbal very easily between the rig and the gimbal. So I'm gonna throw the camera on the base plate. It's very simple. I'm gonna move the follow focus out of the way real quick because I do have to slide the camera in from the left side, and that is because the LCD screen has to be out. And once you slide that over, lock it down. Yeah. And there you go. So then you can move the follow focus back into place. And that's when you have the base of your rig. So the Arca Swiss plate comes in handy because you can literally just quick release it to this entire setup and have it on a tripod. Have it on a tripod in about 30 seconds after you throw this V-mount on. Make sure that's nice and secure. So the V-mount battery is on. And then I'm going to plug in my DC cable here for my battery power, which I have a dummy battery in the camera currently from Condor Blue. And then I'm gonna throw this top handle on, which has my Adamas Ninja V with a 2 terabyte Samsung Evo 980 or 990 SSD in it. Pretty much unlimited recording time if you're not recording RAW. And even when you're recording RAW, you get about 2 hours. So that's pretty crazy. Lock that down with my little small rig tool. Plug in the HDMI. I do want to get a new HDMI because this coiled cable kind of sucks. It sits really far off the camera and that's not really ideal. I have to kind of put my arm through it. I'd rather a 90-degree short HDMI. I do have a small rig mini matte box, which I will be getting square filters for soon because the Pro Mist that I have is a bit rattly, as you can hear. And we just don't like that. I'm hoping to get a stackable filter so I can put Pro Mist plus NDs. Oh, that's pretty cool. You can actually see the mist there. Check that out, double mist. Oh, there it is, there it is. Anyway, you gotta throw a 77mm adapter on there for the matte box. So it can clamp onto, step up ring, step down ring to 77mm on my 82mm Pro Mist. And then all you're gonna do is clamp that matte box on. Make sure it's pretty straight. That matte box is on, and then I'm gonna take my other DC cable and plug it right, well, I like to wrap it around my handle there, and then throw it into the monitor. So this is the rig that I would be using if I were on a tripod shooting interviews and any sort of handheld B-roll. So for interviews, I throw the 24-70 on because I do kind of have autofocus. If you know S1Hs, they're not great with autofocus, but they do have face tracking, which does help a lot in interviews. It still does lose focus occasionally, but it's better than manual focus. So I'm just gonna keep the 24-70 for interviews specifically, and then for everything else, B-roll wise, action shots, I'm going to throw the Rokinon Cine lenses on because I do love shooting manual focus, except when it comes to interviews. I think it's still pretty compact for how usable it is. It's not the lightest, but that's actually better because you get rid of micro jitters, and then the IBIS on Panasonic cameras are fantastic. If you pair that with the weight of the camera, you basically have some perfect handheld shots. I do like turning IBIS off occasionally though, because it looks a little more natural when it comes to handheld. This is my perfect S1H setup, and this is probably what I'm gonna rock for 2024, my goodness. I was thinking about getting a Canon C70 to match our R5C, but I'm really happy with the S1H, and I think pairing some new lenses with it, new to me lenses with it, are gonna kind of open up some opportunities, and I'm gonna start appreciating the camera more. You don't have to spend a lot of money to get a new camera. Get some new lenses, try some new stuff, and you'll appreciate your camera a whole lot more. I'm gonna throw in some test footage I did here at night shooting 4000 ISO, because this camera does have a dual base ISO of 640 and 4000, shot at 4000 ISO and T1.5 for each lens. The only lens I didn't show is the 35, even though that's what's on right now, but you'll kind of get an idea of how it looks. I also shot some shots during the daytime, just right when I got them because I want to pull them out and just try them, but you guys can check that out. If you like this style of video and you want to see more, please like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned.